Hi, my name is Brittany, and I am a wounded gun violence survivor. There was a shooting in Florence, Kentucky, where 4 were unalived and 3 were critically wounded. So I want to make a video about the Kentucky Crime Victims Compensation Fund program to let victims and their loved ones know about this program and the help they can receive during this time. I'd like to take a moment of silence for the victims and their loved ones. Thank you. So let's start about. The Crime Victims Compensation Board decides compensation claims from survivors of violent crime who have no other resources to pay for the medical, funeral, mental health counseling, and dental or corrective lens expenses resulting from the crime. Assistance can also include lost wages of the survivor or loss of support for someone dependent on the victim. When awarded, payments are directly made to service providers or can be reimbursed to victims or claimants. The board's goal is to provide not only the above-mentioned assistance, but to also show empathy during a particularly traumatic time. How to apply? Claims and forms are downloadable on their website. Who is the victim? An innocent person of a crime or some conduct that could be charged as a crime, or a third party who is required to pay for the victim's crime-related bills and have no other means of payment. Conviction is not required. Eligibility: you must report the incident to law enforcement within 48 hours. If not reported, provide a justifiable reason. You must cooperate with law enforcement and the prosecution, except in cases of domestic violence and SA. You must provide a Social Security number or other U.S. government-issued ID. Award amounts: this is as of 2023 that I found their informational packet. Maximum award amount is $30,000. Emergency financial assistance, also known as an emergency award, is available from Crime Victims Compensation Board pursuant to KRS up to $500. Such assistance will be awarded if a board member determines: 1. Your full claim more likely than not will be awarded after a full investigation, and 2. You will incur undue hardship if you are not granted emergency assistance. There is a $7,500 maximum for funeral and burial expenses. Funeral and or burial expenses include funeral costs, monument, and a grave plot. The board is also limited to paying a maximum of $300 per week for lost earnings or loss of support compensation. Lost earnings constituting bereavement are also limited to maximum award of $300 per week. I saw this little informational piece on their site. It said that collection agencies are prohibited from activities while a claim is under consideration. So I think that's important to note here. Covered expenses include medical, mental health counseling for up to 2 years, funeral expenses, eyeglasses or corrective lenses. There were some conflicting things on their website and their packets, so as always, ask questions and I will provide their contact information on here. Continuing with the covered expenses, per policy, the board may also grant awards for lost earnings constituting bereavement in cases of homicide for up to 4 weeks. Proof of employment and income, the verification of employment form, and all other elements of the claim are still required in order for bereavement to be paid. Per policy, the board may also grant awards for emotional support animals. The board must find that the emotional support animal is medically necessary as a direct result of the crime. And for the service animal, the maximum award is $1,000. That is it for the state of Kentucky. My heart goes out to the victims, the survivors, their loved ones, that community. I'm sorry for what you're going through. I hope this information can be helpful in some way.